Steve Bannon, the White House chief strategist and arguably the most influential man in Trump's camp. Abu Bakr al Baghdadi, the leader of Daesh, the self-declared caliph of the so-called Islamic State or ISIS. What do these two men have in common? Let's see. Well, they both predict an impending war, a war of civilizations. Here are three stark similarities between Bannon and al-Baghdadi's worldviews. 1. They're both religious extremists who support violence. Here's Murtaza Hussain from The Intercept.
So when you look at their statements, you see very strong parallels. And these people, despite being very different, they look at the world in much the same way. So if you look at Bannon's speech that he gave at the Vatican in 2014, he tries to galvanize religious sentiment. He calls for the revival of the tradition of the church militant, as he calls it, to prepare for a religious war that he says is coming. It's going to be very long, bloody, and catastrophic. Then you look at speech by Baghdadi in the same year, around the same time, he had much the same to say. That there's a long, bloody conflict coming between Muslims and non-Muslims, and to gather your religious strength to prepare for it.
2. Bannon and al-Baghdadi both see themselves as revolutionaries.
And I think when you look at something like ISIS, they're a revolutionary vanguard which is trying to use violence to bring about changes. And when you look at Bannon, he describes himself as a Leninist. And what does that mean? He's not someone who's a socialist or he doesn't believe in the equitable distribution of wealth. What he means is that he's a revolutionary who wants to use revolutionary tactics to bring about political change.
3. Both men share a dark apocalyptic vision for the future. Yeah, you heard correctly.
Bannon, where they both see an inevitable and inescapable clash between Muslims and non-Muslims, resulting in a violent conflict which they're not only expecting but seem to be preparing for and working to bring about. Hysterical and apocalyptic perspective on events. They want to use religion and politics as a means of galvanizing different communities to fight each other. They both believe that a very bloody and large-scale clash between civilizations is forthcoming.
Now let's not forget, after the election, Steve Bannon told The Hollywood Reporter, and I quote, "Darkness is good. Dick Cheney, Darth Vader, Satan. That's power." Bannon influences Trump's policies targeting Muslims, and they feed directly into the agenda of Daesh. For example, Daesh members celebrated Trump's recent Muslim ban, calling it the blessed ban, proving to them that the West is at war with Islam. It gets worse. An Al-Qaeda-affiliated newspaper published a photo of Bannon on their front page. The headline read, "The war is with Islam as a religion," citing Bannon's anti-Muslim comments. So, will these two powerful men actually carry out their sinister and apocalyptic visions?